Hello Game Cats. I am Spherobolt. And to my right, your left, the king of all bots, BB-8. And this is Viewer Takeover.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Tuesday in Bowl.
Skipping rocks.
Skipping rocks. Every Tuesday is PSVR Gamescast Live, but we did that yesterday. That was a whole long time ago.
24 hours ago.
About 24 hours ago. Give or
Roughly.
take, depending if we were late or not.
Yes.
We were probably late. We were always
Probably.
late.
Jeremy.
It's Jeremy's fault. All
King
the time.
time. It's the thing. King time.
Yeah.
Ask my mother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. But every Wednesday is Viewer Takeover, pre-recorded. I'm going to keep doing this.
On time. I don't know.
Very hand motiony today, where we let you, the loyal game cats,
Wow. Worthy.
take over the show. As always, my name's Brian Paul, and to my right, your left, the king of all VR kings, the sofa king himself. It's Jeremy effing King.
Yes. The sofa king. You know, it's funny. He's like, how did you get... Like, I don't know how... Well, it's just because it's
Right, because
sofa king.
Jay Dow just got the joke.
Yeah.
This week.
Recently.
This week, yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, first and foremost, we want to thank Trey Thacker, the Game Cat, for that awesome
Meow.
Viewer Takeover BB-8 introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the heart.
Yeah, very,
Also.
very, very lovingly crafted. And if you want to introduce next week's Viewer Takeover, I don't think there's anyone in the queue.
No.
They all piled up for a while, and then I tell people that they piled up, and no one wants to send one.
Yeah, they're lazy.
Yeah, you guys are lazy. No, send it to withoutparole@gmail.com. As Jeremy says, if it doesn't fit in our inbox,
You're lucky. Very lucky.
you're lucky.
Zing.
Very enthusiastic today.
Yeah.
But Trey Thacker, of course, is not the only person we want to thank, is he?
No, not
Jeremy?
at all.
No, we also want to thank these people.
Down here.
These people down here.
Yes.
The lovely and fluffy Patreon supporters.
Oh, so fluffy.
These are the fluffiest of the fluffy, the people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole
Games.
and they are giving us $1 or more every single month. Oh, crap.
Yes.
I have to update the list. It's been the first of the month.
Oh, it is the first of the month. Rent's due.
Uh-oh. I'm in big trouble this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because limited run games.
Oh, they got you again, huh? They took your rent.
Spelunky is coming out, and my favorite game on the whole face of the planet is coming
First,
out.
I haven't done that one already.
I was a little surprised myself. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, don't I have that? No, I don't have that. Yeah, so what are we talking about? These are patreon.com/withoutparole and yeah, these, I think we've given up on MP3s.
Yeah, it's pretty much, that's it.
All you get over there is our undying love. You get your name on the list, and
Yep.
you get a weekly episode of The Litter Box. Although the one I just put up this week was,
This
it
week.
had been about 2 weeks since the one before it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, we're doing our best, so bear with us. The Patreon supporters are very, very patient people.
They are.
They
Very
are,
patient.
right?
Thank you.
We appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, those are not the only people we want to thank either.
No.
We also want to thank the people who changed their name on Google or on YouTube to something the Game Cat or something Game Cat adjacent. Because
Anything.
as we've already said, the Game Cats are the loyalist of the loyal.
They are. Some of
fluffiest
them
of
get
the
pretty
fluffy.
creative.
Yeah, these are the loyal supporters of Without Parole.
Yeah, very much.
So, so you want to take Dez's job and read off the people who changed their name to Game Cat this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right. First, hey, Texatron, the little cat. Nice. Minus the E. I wonder if somebody had it.
Like a little star.
Little star. Still can't get that to work for what they didn't intend it for.
Now you know where Little Cat came from.
There you go.
Yes.
Now it makes sense. Maybe you can show me how to use it.
It all makes sense. I mean,
And then Paul, the Game Cat.
Bing.
Nice. To the point. And then Game Cat is tricky.
Game Cat is tricky.
That was Beastie Boys, right?
I don't know.
Rock around. I never was the biggest fan of the Beastie Boys. Martin Marsvin, the Game Rat. Marsvin, the Game Rat.
This is like the second game rat, I think.
Is it really?
There's been a
game rat
before, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's crazy. So we have Game Cat Extraordinaires.
Yeah.
And then we have the Game Rats. These little subdivisions.
There's dogs too. There's only a couple game dogs.
Yeah. And then
Who was it? I forget.
I don't know.
Anyways, I think Hotcake one time. Speaking of Hotcake,
so many.
Zot Zakes, the hashtag GamesGat. Nice. Until next week.
It's your weekly shout out. All right, but what we really do here on Viewer Takeover is we scour the videos, we scour the comments for the hashtag Viewer Takeover, all one word.
Yeah.
So if you want your question or your comment read on next week's Viewer Takeover, make sure you put hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comment. Also, if you change your name to GameCat and you want a shout out next week, hashtag GameCat, all one word. In the comments.
I notice you still do it sometimes with people. You're like, oh, that's a great thing. Hashtag GameCat.
Yeah, well, because I'll never see it.
Yeah.
Right. That comment will go by and I'll...
Gone.
Yep. So it's basically I'm just reminding myself, my future self,
yeah,
that this guy's important.
You're like doing what Bill or Ted did when they put the key... Was it the key? The car keys in the pocket or something like that?
Can we save it for the live show?
Yeah, we'll save that for the live show.
All right, first one out of the gate is Dad of Ducks from the Deadland VR review. Man, this was an interesting video.
Yeah.
He writes, "Love your channel, but the choice of games on the PSVR is really concerning. I haven't seen a real good title in months, and I'm afraid this genre is going to die soon. I loved my PSVR when I got it, but I haven't touched it in months because of the lack of quality games, and I can't justify to my friends anymore in buying the system, which is a shame," he says. Shame.
Shame.
Plus, I hate DLC games, and it seems this is what PSVR is switching to. What happened? DLC games?
DLC. I think he means just downloadable games.
Like digital-only games?
Yeah.
Okay, DLC would be like something different.
An add-on, of a game that already exists.
Okay, no, I didn't even really read this ahead of time.
This is my first to seeing this one. Yeah, there's a few breakdowns here to go through.
Yeah, so
I would think we should. The easiest one is plus he hates DLC or downloadable games.
Let's assume that he means digital only.
Yeah. Now, I used to be a fan of physical copies.
I still am.
Yeah, I do as well. Prefer the nice physical copy and owner's manuals. I used to be big on owner's manuals. They're gone. I've learned to live. I'm not a fan of it. Still bought those, but guess what? Now everything's going digital. Yeah. And if there's a choice, I go physical, but I mean, I'm not DLC, or I should say digital. It's just the way it is nowadays. So there's no avoiding that. That's not specific to virtual reality.
Yeah, it's not specific, and really, it's since day one. This has sort of been the case.
Yeah.
You know, think of all the games that came out just in the first few months.
Yeah.
90% of them.
Oh, big time.
Digital only.
Yeah.
You know, and the ones that got physical releases, I mean, like Pixel Gear and To the Top, these are like limited run games.
Yep.
There's not a ton, like since day one, a ton of physical VR games, and I think mostly because these are smaller developers.
And who's got the money to do all that as well, and press them and send them out and ship them? Cost? Oh, it's a whole new expense.
Yeah. So things haven't changed. He's asking what happened, and the answer is nothing.
The future
in that regard, but also like he says he hasn't touched his PSVR headset in months. And that's a problem, man, because here's the thing, you're missing out on a lot of games that maybe you don't think are good.
Yeah, I guess the word quality or lack of quality is definitely specific to him. Only because where's the lack of quality? Is it maybe games that he assumes he wouldn't enjoy?
I think that's it.
You know,
it's like, but here I am in my reviews talking about, like, I mean, almost every week being like, here's a game you should check out.
Yeah.
Here's another game you should check out. And maybe they're not the things that I was interested in.
Yeah.
Like maybe these weren't like, you know, these aren't AAA titles. These are not like, you know, big budget titles. But they are like, you know, they're things that you're like, well, I'll check it out because it's a PlayStation VR game.
Yeah.
And then you end up falling in love with it.
Yeah. You never know.
There's so many.
It's like driving in a car in a roller coaster. Somebody says, "Hey, let's drive this car," and they're like, "I've been in a car," but you're like, "No, this one's like a roller coaster." I don't know, but
I mean, if he hasn't touched his PlayStation VR headset in months,
yeah, he's got to check some stuff out.
I mean, he's missing. He hasn't touched Borderlands. He hasn't touched Beat Saber.
Yeah.
I mean, like right off the bat, those are two off the top of my head. I haven't.
Big time.
You know, I've got a list of games here that I should probably go back and look at and recommend some to you. But the answer is be a little daring.
Yeah.
Like, if you love your PlayStation VR headset that much,
give it a shot. I mean, like
take some risks.
Astrobot. If that was just physical, never ever was VR.
Yeah.
I would have never played it because I've been there, done a platformer so many times. It was no.
Yep.
But in VR, it's entirely different, and things that you might not think you'd enjoy, you find out are fascinating. They're awesome.
Yeah, Astrobot's a great example. I've sort of been over the whole 3D character platformer.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one I really played outside of VR was the Ratchet and Clank remake.
Yes, which is awesome.
And it had been years, I think, before that.
Yep.
And so this is something that's like revitalizing genres.
Yep.
You know, so there are so many good games. There are so many underrated games on PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, like, no one bought Predator and Dead Rising. And that game's phenomenal. You spent 50 hours in that game, no problem.
Yep.
And it's just crazy. And especially with the PlayStation Plus sale that just ended, and who knows, maybe there's another one going on.
Yeah, who knows?
You could get all these games like To the Top for $6, and Static for $6, and Cold Iron for like $4.
Yeah,
these are games you can take risks on for like virtually nothing.
Yeah,
right. It's like oh, I lost out on $6. I didn't happen to enjoy that as much as Brian said I would. $6.
People stop in at Dunkin' Donuts and spend $5 on a coffee that they might forget in their car while they're at work, and then they don't drink it.
Oh, I still drink it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's like that kind. My budget of $5.
Yeah.
You know, it's like throwaway money in a way, you know, where take a gamble, try something. What are you going to lose?
It's funny that he wrote this on the Deadland VR review because Deadland is a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, just fundamentally, like, broken in ways. But here I am in the review saying this is not a good game.
Yeah.
But I had fun with it for 6 hours.
It's the one where you're constantly moving along.
It's the endless runner, the zombie killing endless runner. And I was like, for $5?
You never know.
Here's the thing: I don't actually recommend you go buy it. But if it looked even remotely fun,
yeah,
I spent 6 hours unlocking weapons in that game, and I was like, this is fun, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Take a risk.
Yeah.
That's all.
Movies. You spend $12, $14, $20, who knows, on an IMAX ticket. Yep. You might not like the movie. It's 3 of these games.
Okay, moving on. You're up, Asia.
Kramer 3K.
Yeah.
From Viewer Takeover. Can I put a hashtag Viewer Takeover question in the hashtag Viewer Takeover comment section? Mm-hmm. Seems a bit too meta. Smiley face with a nose. Anyway, if I can, here goes. Are we doing it?
2, 3. Oh.
We'll start over.
1, 2, 3.
Paper.
Oh. All right.
God damn it. Yep. Whenever I go buy a game, I always check for without parole review before I purchase. On a rare occasion, there's no review. I know you don't have time to review all the games, but if it's not reviewed, is that a bad sign? P.S. Keep up the great work. You guys are my go-to YouTube channel. Thank you.
Yeah, for real. Thank you so much, Kramer 3K. Kramer 3K. It would be so much easier, roll off the tongue way better if it said Kramer 3K, the game cat.
Well, like Kramer. God damn it. Didn't even roll off the tongue. Kramer 3000.
Kramer 3000, the game cat.
Yeah.
As long as it has the game cat at the end, it just rolls off the tongue better.
More of a roll, yeah.
I'm just pushing him into that direction. I'm like, maybe he's listening. You know?
Yeah.
Game cat.
Yeah.
No, it's not a bad sign if we haven't reviewed a game. Squishies is a bad sign. Right? Because I'm like, oh man, I've got to play more of this game before I review it, and I don't really like to play Squishies.
Yeah.
So that's a bad sign. But something like Eve Valkyrie, somehow we never did an official review of that game, and then Des gets motion sickness, so we can't do an episode of Why We Love.
Yeah.
And Why We Love episodes are very often replacements for reviews that like we haven't gotten around to doing yet. So I was like, I get Des over here, and he and I like, have a half-hour conversation.
About it,
much easier than spending 3 days doing a review. So no, it's just there's too many games, and I wasn't very rigorous about it from the start, and now I'm more rigorous, but I'm way behind.
Yeah.
So
Would you say it's not a good sign, but it's also not a bad sign? Is it just because of your anticipation, where there's certain games that are reviewed because you want to play them, you jump into them no matter what, where there's another one on the back burner?
Absolutely. This week, I definitely played the crap out of Deadland VR.
Yeah.
Instead of playing Trainer VR.
Yeah.
I actually got a review key for Trainer, and they were in, Sumo Labs was very, very nice, and emailed me a key, and they were like, here you go, please enjoy the game, and we hope you like it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'll definitely review it, but instead I paid $5 and spent my whole day reviewing a game that no one cares about.
Yeah.
And it's just because I felt like it, because sometimes you have to
live stream of that as well, too, right?
Oh, yeah. It was a busy Deadland day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like this channel, and I know you guys probably have no idea what happens behind the scenes, but it's so much work. It takes my entire life to run this channel, to the point where it's like we're talking like 70 hours a week, where sometimes you just have to stop what you're doing and go, fuck the schedule, fuck the production schedule that I've laid out for myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Deadlands. right?
Yeah.
I'm going to review Deadland just because that's what I feel like playing right now.
Yep.
And so that's just how it works sometimes.
See, dad of ducks, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. All right, I'm up.
There you go.
Paul Horton, again. But it sounds so much better. Paul Horton.
The Game Cat.
The Game Cat. Maybe Game Cat Extraordinaire. Maybe he can join that family.
Yeah.
On the Red Matter PSVR review discussion, he wrote #viewer takeover. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Bing. In regards to patches being released for PSVR games, what have been the patches that have shown the greatest improvement in a game from its original release, and what are the games that you would like to see patches for, and why?
Ooh, totally a question for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that like Cold Iron got one of the biggest patches ever.
Yep.
Like basically they dropped the price of that game. They doubled the size of it.
Okay.
I mean, it was just like I played through it the first time. I was like, this is a lot of fun, but it's really shallow. There's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
After you've beaten the campaign.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like they're like, oh yeah, we were listening. Go over their catch and release, their amazing team. Yeah. And they were like, and they suddenly doubled the size of the game. There were all these mini games, there were all this extra stuff going on, and I'm just like, and the menu screens look better, and I'm like. What kind of magic did you guys work in like 3 months? It was crazy.
Yeah.
So that was of course, we need to talk about Skyrim because man, when they did that last big patch where it felt like they just flipped a switch and everything went into high resolution and just looked a million times better on the Pro.
Yeah.
I was like, this went from being like an okay looking game to being a really good VR looking game.
I wonder what it takes if they just don't meet a deadline, so they keep going. Or one day someone is like, "I'm gonna go check that email." Oh,
that's absolutely.
Hey,
what
I
happens.
can make this look better.
Oh no, it's absolutely what happens. They miss a deadline.
Yeah.
Or they're going to miss a deadline, so they go, well, let's just do it the way it is now.
Yeah.
And we can come back to it and patch it later. The ones that need a patch big time is, hands down, Monster of the Deep.
Yeah.
Des and I reviewed that this week on Why We Love PSVR, and I will tell you, man, like that, it looks like fucking garbage on the OG PS4.
Really?
Like garbage. It like you can tell it's like still very colorful, and you're like it's the same world.
Yep.
But the resolution is just like to the point where you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Eek.
This just looks terrible.
Wow.
And it looks great on the Pro, and I'm like, there's got to be some kind of in between where the OG can run better than it does.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be Pro level, but it has to be better than it's running now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Square was just like, we made our money, we're done.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, like, the casting mechanics and stuff. And just all the menus are so clunky. I'm like, there are so many things they could improve in that game.
I loved Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
I beat it. But I didn't do Monsters of the Deep because it didn't appeal to me at all. I just thought the concept was goofy with the fish in between the shooting. I thought the shooting aspect, like the boss fights, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they didn't lean heavily enough into that, where it was like, oh look, I've got a crossbow, boom, 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 and then as soon as you shot them enough times, they give you your fishing rod back.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like switching on the fly. It's just it's really boring fishing for a fantasy game.
Yeah.
It needs like a bazillion patches. It needs like more levels. It needs more story. It needs better characters.
Or fish gun. Like, don't have to change. Have a gun at the end of your rod. Who knows? I don't know.
And actually, Des and I said it during our show. It just needs a sequel where they just do everything over.
Forget about that fishing
trip. At this point,
trip.
you can't patch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's up?
Michael Bush. Monster of the Deep review discussion.
Speak of the devil.
Here we go. Hey, why not expand your review numbers from 1 to 3 to 1 to 10, 1 equaling 1, 2 equaling 5, 3 equaling 10? Then you might be able to have a more precise take on a title. #viewer takeover. I will still love you guys and visit the channel regardless. Just asking. Square face. Or square smile.
Do you know the answer to this?
I mean, why don't you? I mean, I think if you go to 1 to 10, the scale is just incredible. I know 1 is... You guys have your definite, maybe, kind of, and then no. Right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is I think we fucked up when we first created the scale, right? Because it's not a scale. It's if you play a game and you're trying to tell somebody about it, here are 3 possible answers. Like when somebody goes, should I buy this game? You go, 1, absolutely, you need to have this in your library.
Yeah.
2, if it's on sale or you really like the genre. 3, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's not a rating scale 1, 2, and 3. It's like 3 possible options, like A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like adding more letters to the alphabet.
Okay.
It's like, hey, okay, so a 1 is now A through G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It makes we're not trying to rate this numerically, right? And I think as soon as we start like expanding the 3 options to a numeric scale, people are going to think we're starting to rate games numerically.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're trying to do. That's the last thing we're trying to do, actually.
Yeah.
We took a vote. Everyone voted against it. You guys voted against it. We voted against it. No one fucking wants numbers around here.
Yep.
So we don't have any numbers. So we shouldn't say 1, 2, or 3. We should say A, B, or C. Here are 3 possible conclusions. It's just easier to say it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything.
It still leaves everything up to the person.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. And then finally, the Arm & Hammer. I like that name.
Yeah.
Again, it would be so much better if it was the Arm & Hammer, the game cat.
The Arm & Hammer cat.
I like that. Put you in the fridge, keep everything smelling nice. From Viewer Takeover, he writes, PSVR without parole, exclamation point. I've been watching for over a year. You guys originally inspired me to purchase a PSVR setup with a PS4 Pro. You guys provide amazing content. We're just patting ourselves on the back all day today. Is what we're doing.
Well, the printer is with printing this one out.
Usually I edit this stuff out and then just go to the question. But
hey, everybody needs a pat once in a while, right?
I need an ego boost today.
Yeah.
I think you guys should review everything PlayStation, move to non-VR content, as well as still providing VR content. I recommend your channel to all my friends, but not all of them have the VR system. If you move to all PS news and games, I know my friends would subscribe to your channel. Keep the content going.
Yeah, we'd have an amazing amount of new subscribers, but that was chaos, and that's where we used to be, kind of just like, let's talk about stuff, game-wise.
We basically covered everything.
Yeah, and then it more funneled down to something specific, focus.
As soon as I was like every single week, all I wanted to do was talk about PlayStation VR.
Yeah,
I was like, I
realized.
Just kind of roped you guys in. I was like, you're all coming with me.
Yeah, hey guys, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
All right.
The point is that there are probably 100 million YouTube channels out there.
So many
that cover all video games or all PlayStation.
Yep.
And we found our little niche. We found our little corner of the internet. Mm-hmm. And that's it, man. It's like I think, if you want further PlayStation news, I can't keep up with PlayStation VR alone.
There's so much, and let alone just expanding to every single. Think again back to Dado Ducks. How many where he feels bad quality games.
Oh my God, there's so many worse games.
Oh my God, through indie games, just digital release, to physical releases, these $20, $30 games you don't even know came out, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How did this get printed and released? So, I mean, there's so much. You know,
it would be impossible to wade through all that. It'd be impossible, especially at the scale where we're at. There's only 3 of us, and like right now, you're not reviewing anything.
No.
Des is, I ask him to do like 1 review every few weeks.
Yeah.
And that in
Studio B's just getting rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there's no way you can understand how much work goes into covering just PlayStation VR, and I can't keep up with that. So,
and it's old news. VR is a new.
It's what I'm passionate about. I think it's what you're passionate about.
It's pretty exciting.
And I think you would start to see a loss in our excitement level when we're just covering everything.
If I did a regular live stream of Resident Evil 7 flat screen,
oh my God, it'd be so
I
boring.
wouldn't jump and scream.
Nope.
Oh my God, it's making me do things I never did in a game before and have reactions I never had playing a game.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's just a whole experience,
Yeah, we do this, I mean, of course, we'd always want more subscribers. Of course, we want the channel to grow. But we don't do it for the subscribers. We do this because we love it. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the end of the story. I think if we moved to anything else other than what we're doing now, I wouldn't love it nearly as much.
It's like the Melting Pot restaurant. You don't go there to fill up. You go there for the experience. Right?
What the fuck's the Melting Pot?
It's the fondue.
What's fondue?
They have the broth that boils on the burner in front of you at the table, and they give you little portions of meat or fish that's very overpriced that you cook.
I just asked to see if you'd answer. I don't know what the fuck fondue is. All right, and that does it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. Make sure that if you want your Viewer Takeover question or comment read now next week's show, put hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comments. Also, if you change your name to GameCat, put hashtag GameCat.
Yes.
All one word in the comments. I'm looking at you, Arm & Hammer, Michael Bush, Paul Horton, Kramer 3K, and
Data Ducks.
Why the fuck not Data Ducks? Data Ducks the GameCat.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and of course, head on over to patreon.com/withoutparole
games.
And hit us up for $1 or more every month so you can have your name on that list that went by earlier.
Yep.
As always, I'm Brian Paul, that's Jeremy King, and we love you all.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
We'll see you later.